As educators, it's our duty to provide safe learning environments for all students. In the unfortunate circumstance that a student poses a danger to themselves or others, we must have a system in place to prevent the escalation of violence. CTASP is a community-wide partnership dedicated to creating safer schools and communities. Together, these partners work to assess, intervene, and support, ensuring students struggling with harmful thoughts get the help that they need.
The Community Threat Assessment and Support Protocol is a commitment amongst a number of organizations in our community.
These partners have signed on to this protocol, saying that they are absolutely committed to preventing serious violence within our community.
Our number one priority is responding to scenarios that, pose a risk to our schools and our workplaces.
The purpose of the group is to utilize the VTRA framework, and this is an assessment tool that was born of Kevin Cameron.
VTRA is the acronym for the Field of Violence Threat Risk Assessment. And in essence, the VTRA model, which me and my colleagues developed after Columbine and Tabor school shootings had occurred, was an early model that was meant to identify individuals moving on a pathway to serious violence.
A VTRA is activated when an individual poses some sort of a threat towards themselves or towards someone else.
We use the VTRA framework to assess the level of threat that the person poses and to put in appropriate interventions to support both the person and decrease the likelihood of violence.
The first priority for VTRA is determining whether or not a threat maker poses a risk. The second priority is actually a mental health priority. It's a therapeutic priority where we then say, okay, if they are moderate to high risk, then what is it that has occurred in their life or what's going on in their life that's got them to this level of dangerousness or concern now? So in actuality, VTRA is a multidisciplinary, multi-ministry model where we have partners trained from police to mental health, to child protection, to schools, probation, and other helping agencies.
Once a VTRA has been enacted, that's when the CTASP group can be called upon to share that data, to share that information in order to get as many pieces of the puzzle put together as possible to help lower the level of risk.
When an individual commits to some potentially violent behaviors inside our school, we make a concerted effort right away to find the individual as well as their target, and we make sure that they're in a safe place. This turns into a period of quick information gathering. We collaborate with RCMP and counselors and principals. In a matter of 20 minutes, 2 hours, we can come up with a quick assessment. And ultimately, if there's a need, they have to set the interventions in place to make sure that our schools are safe.
The idea is not to just send the kid away from school or even to lay charges and get them in the criminal system. We actually want to find programming and options that will work for them. VTRA is to provide those supports and intervene early before behaviors become violent.
If it's just discipline, it doesn't work. With the support, it's definitely going to have a better chance at providing what is necessary to interrupt the evolution of violence within that child's life.
Once an individual is identified, we offer opportunity for them to come in and see a team of qualified professionals who might include psychiatrists, psychologists, registered nurses, social workers, occupational therapists. It instills hope that we are not giving up on you because you're struggling with something. We believe that there is help and opportunity for you to thrive and really meet your potential despite the current struggle that you're having.
These interventions and supports that we put in place can be incredibly successful when intervened early because we're able to actually get a dialogue going, find out what is going on and what would be the best interventions to set them up for success.
Without VTRA, without the CTASP group, often what we kind of go first to is punishing an individual when a threat has been made. And what Kevin Cameron's training has taught us is that that is the last thing we should be thinking about. We know that people are struggling if something like this comes across our desk. So what can we be doing to help the individual today and help them 5 years from now, 10 years from now, so that this threat that they made is just a part of their distant past?
It goes away from the old way of doing things where we would suspend for 5 days or 10 days and we would have no contact with that student. Now it is so vitally important to keep in contact with that student and ensure that the student stays safe, the family is safe, and moving forward that any targets may be safe as well.
CTASP has evolved exponentially, especially within the past 5 years. We used to look at VTRA, Violence Threat Risk Assessment, as something that just belonged in the K-12 system. And over the past several years, we've seen this evolve, especially within our local CTASP group. We no longer just look at this from a K-12 school perspective. VTRAs can also be enacted in the workplace. And now at our CTASP table, we have more community partners than we've ever had before. People want to get involved in VTRA and in CTASP because they want to make a difference.
Collaboration between multi-agencies in a quick and rapid fashion allows us to really be responsive and supportive, which is a community that I want to be a part of.
I think that CTASP makes Yorkton a better and safer place to live. It allows all our community agencies to work together to really focus on keeping us safe and take an active role in that.
VTRA gives us a great perspective. It gives us the information that's necessary to support a student culturally, through trauma, through mental health, social services. When I see a student in a situation that's so highly emotional, be able to find that calm, and when they look around and they know they're supported, that's what VTRA does for us.
The VTRA process is extremely effective. I have seen this process work in phenomenal ways in the past several years, and the reason for that is that there are more partners around the table who are willing to help and willing to information share in order to lower that level of risk.
Good Spirit has the ultimate responsibility of safety. You know, if children don't feel safe inside their schools, how do they go about learning? It's a commitment that we hold very seriously, and because VTRA is a process that allows us to walk down that path towards safety, we are very committed to it.
There's simply nothing more important than the safety and well-being of our children. It's important to understand that these threat assessment protocols are meant to be helpful, not harmful. Students struggling with violence need our support, and that's what CTASP is for. GSSD, along with our trusted community partners, are dedicated to creating safe, caring environments for every child in our communities.